Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to today's Inspiring and Developing Young People Through STEM, the Young STEM Leader Programme session at SLF Online. We'll wait for the rest of the delegates to join us this afternoon, but if you've just joined us, please make sure to keep your microphone switched off and have your camera off, please, unless you are presenting. That just stops us avoids any interference and make sure that there's no problems with the recording later on. Please take a moment to introduce yourself in the chat. It's great to see so many people joining us today. Say hello and where you're from, and we'll get started in just a minute or so. Okay, folks, I think we'll just get started. Hi, Loretta, great to see you. Okay, brilliant. Welcome to today's session, Inspiring and Developing Young People Through STEM, a journey through the Young STEM Leader Programme led by CERC. Please take a moment to introduce yourself in the chat, tell us who you are and where you're joining us from today. And if you could mute your microphone and turn your camera off unless you are presenting, that stops us having any interference with today's session. And it'd be great if you could contribute as much as you feel comfortable with in today's session, whether that's by typing in the chat, responding to questions, or getting in touch with us later on. That's brilliant. And it's great to see so many people from across Scotland joining us today. My last point before we kick off is that life happens and that's okay. I know that people are joining us from work, from home, or for walking their dog today. So if you need to leave the session at any point and come back in, that's absolutely fine too. The session will be recorded and it will be available for you to access afterwards. Brilliant. Thanks so much for you contributing in the chat. So my name is Jamie Mingus and I'm the Programme Manager for the Young STEM Leader Programme led by CERC. Today I'll be taking you through the Young STEM Leader Programme, giving you a background as to what it involves. I'll be sharing a wonderful case study from one of our brilliant centres, Stewarton Academy in Inverness, and I'm delighted to have two of our tutor assessors and some of our young people from Stewarton Academy joining the call today as well. We also have my colleague Gail Thompson, Programme Support Coordinator for Young STEM Leader, is in the chat box, and Janie Irving, who's our Education Scotland link, is also there. So if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, please pop them in the chat box as we go throughout today's session. I'd love to hear your thoughts about Young STEM Leader and how it might work in your centre. So I'm going to talk to you a bit of a background about the Young STEM Leader Programme. Where did it start and where are we now? So the Young STEM Leader Programme was derived from the Scottish Government Strategy for STEM Education and Training. This document was published in 2017, and in that it stated that the Young STEM Leader Programme will stimulate and strengthen the development of peer mentoring and inspiration in STEM for children and young people by children and young people. And that statement really exemplifies the ethos of the Young STEM Leader Programme and its associated awards. It's all about empowering young people to lead STEM activities in the hope that that will break down barriers to participation. It will help build STEM capital within young people and their centres and help to create a real ethos of STEM within a school, community or youth group that the award is being delivered in. Because it's derived from a Scottish Government strategy, the award is offered for free to all young people in Scotland, and I'll tell you a bit more about how you can get involved a bit later on. Since its kind of inception and the idea in the STEM strategy, the award has been led by CERC. So we're an organisation based in Dunfermline that has a national reach to support STEM education across Scotland. But we've developed the Young STEM Leader programme in partnership with a number of organisations such as science centres and festivals, Education Scotland, and some other youth and mentoring focused organisations as well. The award was developed over a year or over 2 years in collaboration also with groups of young people and groups of educators to help make sure that it was appropriate for all partners and stakeholders that were involved in making it happen. We also work really closely with the STEM Ambassador Hub in Scotland, who help us help young STEM leaders transition from being doing a Young STEM Leader Award to becoming a STEM Ambassador on completion of the award. The programme is structured in a way that it allows any centre to pick it up and deliver the programme and kind of fit it into existing STEM initiatives that they might have, or to use the programme as a vehicle or a catalyst to build STEM participation within their centre. And how you start delivering the award is by becoming a tutor assessor. A tutor assessor is an adult who is trained by CERC to deliver the award. It's a 2-hour training session. The tutor assessors support young STEM leaders through the award by providing front-loaded learning, making links, providing resources, and of course, doing all the assessment and quality assurance necessary for the Young STEM Leader programme. Tutor assessors will be responsible for a group or one or a group of young STEM leaders. And a young STEM leader is responsible for leading STEM activities within their centre, whether that's by running a science show for 100 or 1,000 people, or delivering a one-to-one supported study session, whether it's by leading an outdoor STEM trail in their community, or delivering an online webinar, YouTube video, or TikTok. Whichever type of STEM activities, events or interactions the young people are delivering, they're building STEM capital, they're developing their own leadership, employability and 21st century skills, and in the process, gathering evidence for an award at one of 6 levels that we offer the award at. STEM leaders don't always have to work with people younger than them. So people think of leadership as an opportunity that's only available to senior pupils in primary or secondary schools, working with people younger than them. That's not the case with young STEM leaders. We've seen young STEM leaders running tech workshops for adults within their schools or centres. We've had young STEM leaders working with family members in their own household, linking up with STEM ambassadors to kind of create this learning community of STEM around them and helping to build STEM capital. The award is available across 6 levels, from split into 2 versions. On the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see the non-formal version of Young STEM Leader. That sits at Curriculum for Excellence 2nd, 3rd and 4th levels, and it contains a series of digital badges that young STEM leaders will complete to go towards their award for one of those levels. Those digital badges are called Discover, Create, Inspire and Lead. And once you've got the 4 digital badges for those levels, you'll then achieve the certificate for the Young STEM Leader Award at that level. These levels are typically delivered in primary schools from kind of 2nd level up, of course, and the BGE phase of secondary schools and any youth and community groups that are working with young people at those learner levels. We also have the formal version of Young STEM Leader programme. That sits on the right-hand side of your screen, and that sits at STQF levels 4, 5 and 6, which are equivalent to the levels of National 4, National 5 and higher level qualifications. These awards are typically delivered in secondary schools, any youth and community groups working with young people at those learning levels, and we're also now starting to see the award being delivered in colleges, other further education institutions, and in a couple of apprenticeship programs as well, which is absolutely brilliant. The formal awards for young people that are aged 17 plus offer a transition programme to becoming a STEM ambassador on completion of one of the formal levels, and that allows young people to continue STEM leadership as they go on to a positive destination in STEM, whether that's studying in STEM or having employment in STEM. Part of the benefit of the Young STEM Leader Award to us is that there's no kind of prescription as to what level a young person can achieve the award at. It's a young person can enter the programme at any level and pick up the award and deliver it straight away. There are no prerequisites to taking part in the award at any level, and of course it's free to any young person in Scotland, which is we're very proud of. For every level of the award, there's a robust framework with support notes and guidance for tutor assessors leading young people through the award. And there's also evidence documentation and evidence tasks that take young people on a journey to allow them to build evidence for each of the tasks or learning outcomes that make up part of their award. This evidence can be gathered in a number of different ways to make the programme as accessible as possible, whether that's a paper copy printed out or provided by us that's filled in by the young person, or one of our online logs is a bespoke platform designed specifically for the programme to allow young people to enter evidence into it. We also allow young people to submit evidence in photos, videos, audio files, and to allow the programme to be as accessible as it can be and any young person to be able to access the award in their centre. So I'm now going to pause. That's a bit of a background about the Young STEM Leader programme, but I'd like you to contribute in the chat now. Based on your experience working with young people or working with adults or in any setting, whether that's school or community, why is STEM important to you? And I'm just going to pause for a minute and allow you to type your answer into the chat box. Fantastic. So Mrs. Henderson, STEM is going to provide solutions for the future. Mrs. Carroll, developing lifelong skills in young people, preparing them for the future. Fantastic. Janie Irving, skills developed through STEM, support learners in everything. I think that's absolutely true. And Gail saying that too. You can find STEM in everything, and STEM is applicable to kind of every career and job, not just the obvious ones. Loretta, museums have an amazing STEM collections. You're absolutely true. Brilliant. Encourages development of character strengths, solves problems to provide skills to solve problems for the future. Fantastic. And I think as educators, we're all quite familiar with the reason that why STEM is important, and allowing young people to kind of think about that and reflect on that is a really key part of the Young STEM Leader Award. We see the most important part of STEM, and certainly in our awards program, as an opportunity to empower and mobilize young people to ask questions, be curious, and share that with other people, helping to kind of build an ethos of STEM in their learning community, whether that's in a community and youth work setting, or in a primary secondary school, or extending to employers and colleges. Young STEM leaders are helping to kind of spread the word and promote positive attitudes towards STEM in their settings. I've got a few case studies now to show you how the programme is being delivered in some different settings, and then I'm going to pass over to the Young STEM leaders and tutor assessors of Stewarton Academy, who've prepared some fantastic videos to share with you today. So first, let's have a look at the youth work sector. One of our first youth work settings to deliver the Young STEM Leader Award was Paisley YMCA. They have a group of STEM girls who work and learn together in a digital STEM context. They meet weekly and run digital skills workshops, and the Young STEM leaders invite other groups of people in and lead STEM digital workshops to them, such as groups of rainbows and brownies and guides, and they help them get their badges that way. One of the Young STEM leaders in Paisley YMCA said it was sometimes scary, but I learned to be patient and calm. So as well as building STEM skills, they also were able to develop important leadership qualities like patience, which is really important, as you know, when you're leading a STEM activity sometimes, because things can often go wrong. The award is delivered in a number of youth work settings, such as independent youth work centres, local authority youth work provision, and a few scouts, brownie groups, and other uniformed organisations are delivering the award too, because it can really fit in nicely with youth work initiatives that are already there. Moving on from the youth work setting, we have around 200 primary schools in Scotland delivering the award, and they typically offer the award at Curriculum for Excellence second and third levels. This is a short case study of Ratho Primary School, which is one of our first primary delivering centres to offer the award in Edinburgh. They are working at two different levels. They have YSLs at second level who've been leading home learning activities during lockdown, and at the third level, young STEM leaders have been running online family STEM clubs to get their award. They've used the Young STEM Leader Award as a platform to build evidence for the STEM Nation quality mark, which we've seen in a lot of our delivering centres, and they're also now thinking about their young STEM leaders in primary 6 and 7 that are moving on to high school. How can they continue that journey as they move up to secondary school? At Ratho, the young STEM leaders really embody STEM in the learning community. Every STEM opportunity comes through the young STEM leaders to be shared with other people in the school. And lastly, we have our secondary schools. Secondary schools make up the majority of our delivering centres in Scotland, and we have around 50% of Scottish secondary schools have at least one tutor assessor in them equipped to deliver the award. This is just one of our secondary school centres, and I'll come on to Charleston in just a second. This is Stewarton Academy in East Ayrshire. They have really taken the Young STEM Leader programme and slotted it into a number of different levels in their learner journey. So it's offered as a second level transition project. So every primary 7 coming up to Stewarton in S1 achieves a Young STEM Leader YSL2 award. And they also have senior phase pupils who are completing the YSL level 5 and level 6 awards as well. They run a wide range of activities such as STEM careers fairs. They had physics of football sessions and loads of other STEM activities to really kind of engage different levels of their learning community. One of the young STEM leaders at Stewarton said about delivering a careers workshop that they're helping them decide their future life, and they like that side of it. So allowing them to pass on their important expertise and wisdom about STEM careers that they've learned through their school journey. At the moment, the programme is available at, I'm just answering your question, Mrs. Cardinal, it's available from second level up. We don't currently offer a first level or early years programme at the moment, but that's something we're thinking about for the future. So stay tuned for that. I'm now going to hand over and show you some videos from Stewarton Academy in Inverness. They are an incredibly inspiring centre. I was lucky enough to get the chance to visit the young STEM leaders at Stewarton a couple of months ago to help create some of these videos. There's two videos I'm going to show you. The first is a case study video of Stewarton, which has interviews with tutor assessors and young STEM leaders in it. And then the young STEM leaders have prepared 2 STEM activities that you can think about and you might want to take home to your own setting as well. So just give me 1 second while I prepare the video, and I hope you enjoy.
A young STEM leader is someone that kind of motivates the younger people that want to do what we're doing and show them how we've done it ourselves. Today we'll be leading a microscope session, so we'll be showing them how a microscope works, each of the parts of the microscope, and every bits that, like, how it's used in the modern day world as well.
Sometimes I think a misconception is that you think you have to be really academic to get into STEM, but the fact is you really don't. You just have to be creative, and I think our job is sort of to lead them to the kind of thing that'll get that going and make them successful in it.
I got asked to reinvigorate the STEM club here, and then we became aware of the Young STEM Leader programme from CERC, and really wanted to get involved with that because I see it as an excellent way of being able to measure the outcomes for those young students and being able to give them something really concrete to show about all their effort and reward that effort that they put in.
As a young STEM leader, we compete in competitions and we also get girls and young people involved in STEM. We did a day of physics where we got girls around Scotland to come to our school and we did workshops through the day, and we just kind of encouraged them to get involved in how many different areas there is that we can get involved in. I think creativity is probably one of the main ones that I've developed as a young STEM leader.
I've improved my teamwork skills a lot by beforehand, I found it quite hard to speak to other people and be involved with projects, and this has helped me a lot.
It's a group, and a lot of groups can give you skills and stuff, but I think STEM has absolutely like changed me as a person. It's given me more skills.
I think it's a great idea to get involved with the Young STEM Leader project. Firstly, it's free. It is accredited, so you get your SQA, SDQF points, you get your insight points. I'd previously had experience as a marker for SQA, and I found those skills have been transferable. We run it with our pupils in the ASM base at level 2, and then we also have a group of 6-year pupils who are working in the programme at level 6.
Become like a family. Having STEM as kind of a new social group, you get to make friends, you get to have new experiences with people, and it's enjoyable.
It's a great thing for your future as well. It helps CVs, help you get into universities. It's just a great thing for people to see that you gain the skills from this. You can take it into your future.
There's a lot of kids in the younger years who are really enthusiastic and also really good at it, so hopefully after we leave, we'll have helped them just that little bit to keep going and do their own thing.
The thing about the Young STEM Leader programme is it gives us this really good, constructive and well-developed framework so the students can see what they're aiming for. And it's their own individual log, it's that structure that I really like.
I've enjoyed it so much, and the support as well from CERC is fantastic. So once you join a family of people who'll help you to deliver the award.
Hello and welcome to Stewarton Academy's STEM team. Here we lead students in our school and local primary schools in a series of interactive and easy experiments. Come along with us as we discover the fascinating world of STEM around us. Today we'll be performing the tinfoil boat experiment, and you can join in too. All you'll need is some common household appliances, such as tinfoil, washing up liquid, and a tray of water.
Really simple. All you need is a clean tray. You need to make sure it's clean, just to make sure that nothing goes around, basically, nothing gets messed up. Tin foil, 6 by 12 centimeters, that's probably the best I mentioned. We tried a few others, but this one works the best. Two half triangles at the top to make sure it's streamlined. And your lollipop shape. Before you put that lollipop shape in, you have to make sure that it's half. It's just easier to cut out. Okay, to start this experiment, you just put the boat in. Float in nicely, pretty nice. And then all you need to do is put the washing up liquid. And it goes flying forward. But there's a catch. Second time round, same tray. Put it in. Nothing happens. And there's a reason for that.
The surface tension of a fresh tray of water, and you can only do this experiment once over and to refill the tray. This is because the water molecules are being attracted to each other. And this is where the fairy liquid comes in. The soap is disrupting the molecules at the back of the boat, but the front are still being attached. This is why the boat moves forward, and now you know why.
Hello and welcome to Stewarton Academy's STEM team.
Hi there, we're part of the Young STEM Leader program at Stewarton Academy. We've been involved in STEM since S1, and now we're in S6 looking to get more young people involved. We're going to show you one of the activities we've done over the course of the Young STEM Leader program.
With our teachers, we looked at the question, what motivates us? On the surface level, this seems like a simple one, but when you look deeper into it, it becomes more challenging as due to the many factors at play.
We worked in groups to discuss what motivates our learning and how we could use this as a young STEM leader to motivate people coming into STEM. Some ideas presented were competitions and challenges, which offers opportunity for a confidence boost, skills development, and ultimately, this all leads to fun.
As young STEM leaders hoping to engage more young people in STEM, we'd use this information to bring more attention to opportunities out with and within schools, and also open conversations with younger people and allow them to put in their input, no matter how out there it may seem, and also highlight the potential for it to, a small interest to grow into a genuine career in STEM.
Just some examples of questions and answers that could come from our initial question, what motivates us?
But the point of this activity is to encourage discussion.
So it's important to allow all pupils to participate equally.
No matter how out there their ideas may seem.
We must remember the most important thing from this activity is to keep the conversation flowing.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks so much to the amazing young STEM leaders of Stewarton Academy for putting those two videos together. That is just one of our fantastic delivering centres, but Charleston really kind of exemplify that ethos of the programme. They're leading such fantastic activities in their school, and their whole centre is benefiting from it. So now that I've given you a chance to understand a bit more about the Young STEM Leader programme, I'd like to hear from you whether you think this is something that you could implement in your setting. If you could just take a moment in the chat to reflect a bit on that. Do you see opportunities for using the Young STEM Leader programme for people leadership in your setting, and who could be the Young STEM leaders if you don't have any already? If we do have any existing tutor assessors with us today, please do share in the chat your experience of delivering the award. It's brilliant there to see examples of the programme already being delivered. Good to see you again. And Loretta and Amy's comments about using the programme in museums in Edinburgh Zoo, I'd be very interested to discuss that further with you. If anyone has any thoughts about where the Young STEM Leader programme might fit into their setting, I'd love to have that conversation with you, or put you in touch with one of my colleagues as well. So just to kind of wrap up today's session, I want to talk to you a bit about the progress of the programme, where we're going next, and some of the benefits of getting involved, if I haven't shared that with you enough already. So we're currently in our third year of the programme. In the first year in the pilot, we established 2 levels of the programme and worked with around 500 young people who were engaged across about 60 settings. Between March and May 2020, we launched our new online platform, and the programme had its full national launch. Over the last academic year, 2020-2021, we had around 3,000 young people engaged with the programme. Not all of them reached the certification stage because of lockdowns and all of that jazz, but we were really pleased to see that level of participation. In this academic year, we now have a team of associate regional trainers and verifiers who are providing regional support for the programme and are looking at ways that we can further engage with CLD settings, additional support needs settings, so CLD being community learning and development, and extend our offer to primary schools to understand a bit better about where the award might fit in there. We're also now launching the award beyond Scotland, and it will be available to pilot in England from October this year through SLQ Sports Leaders. The eventual aim, as set out in the STEM strategy, is that every young person in Scotland will have access to the programme by December of 2022. So that means that it will be represented within every single learning community in Scotland. So we still have a long way to go to get there, but I'd be delighted to support you to undertake and begin the Young STEM Leader journey in your setting. And who is engaged so far? Well, we currently have around 500 delivering centres across Scotland. That's represented by a number of different types of settings: primary schools, secondary schools, youth groups and other organisations. And that number is actually slightly outdated. We have something like 1,300 trained educators ready to deliver the award in their setting. So far, we think that there's been an estimated 50,000 hours of additional STEM leadership that's been undertaken as part of pupils taking part in the Young STEM Leader programme, helping them to earn over 800 SCQF points. And that's throughout over all the 3,000 young people that took part in the programme last academic year. We've also been continually evaluating the programme to get feedback from our tutor assessors and our young STEM leaders that have been involved as well. And it's clear to see that the programme is having an impact on young people and their attitudes towards STEM. So with 100% of tutor assessors agreeing that Young STEM Leader is building positive attitudes towards STEM. We're really proud of this, and we hope that these statistics will continue as we evaluate our full national launch as well. And how will we get there? Well, we have a brilliant team of regional trainers and verifiers. There are 16 regional trainers in different areas of Scotland. You can find out more information about them on our website and get in touch. They can provide one-to-one support, have a chat with you about how Young STEM Leader will work in your setting, and come and train you and your colleagues on how to deliver the award. We like to build relationships with our settings and support you in the way that you need to make the Young STEM Leader programme happen. We also have a number of auto-award agreements in place. That means if you're already delivering one of the STEM programmes that you see on your screen, such as Industrial Cadets, Formula 1 in Schools, and the Green Power Project or the Leaders in Science Project, young people who achieve these programmes can be automatically awarded a Young STEM Leader Award. We also have agreements in place with Duke of Edinburgh Gold and the Boys Brigade Queen's Award as well. I mentioned the partners earlier on, and we continue to engage with our partnership to enable them to offer experiences for young STEM leaders, such as Aberdeen Science Centre are about to launch a Young STEM Leader workshop for Aberdeenshire schools. Similarly, YouthLink Scotland are supporting some youth work settings to pick up and deliver the programme, and we provide support and engagement with our partners to facilitate Young STEM Leader delivery. And lastly, as I mentioned, SERC has a really positive relationship with our Young STEM Leaders delivering centres through the tutor assessors, and in turn we hear feedback all the time from our Young STEM Leaders, and we're continually reflecting and improving our practice to offer the best experience possible and to enable our centres to deliver the best positive experience for their young people. So what's next? If you're interested in getting involved with the Young STEM Leader programme, you can now become a tutor assessor and go and start delivering the award in your setting straight away, or you can share this with other colleagues in your centre and encourage them to do the training too. The tutor assessor training takes 2 hours. It's free and delivered online by myself and my colleagues. We offer usually 1 or 2 of these sessions a month, so if there isn't a date that you can make at the moment, you can book on to one of those sessions now. Alternatively, you can get in touch by email using our website or by our Twitter feed. I couldn't find the Twitter logo, so a random duck there. That's our Twitter handle there as well if you need anything, and that's a great place to go to look at to see what other settings are doing in relation to the award. Lastly, I'd just like to mention Young STEM Leader Week. That's coming up at the end of October. And if you are thinking about starting the Young STEM Leader programme, now is a really good time to engage. Young STEM Leader Week will have loads of experiences and opportunities for tutor assessors and young people to engage, and it's a great platform for young people to lead STEM activities. We'll be launching the programme for that next week, so please stay tuned to have that. And yes, Mrs. Aitken, the formal awards do have SCQF points attached to them. It's either 3 or 4 SCQF points, depending on the level that the young people are working at. So that's the end of my presentation. I'd like to invite Eileen McLeod and David Vincent, who are the 2 tutor assessors from Stewarton Academy that's supported today's session, to switch their cameras on, please, because now is the time to open the floor and ask if anyone has any questions for myself or any of our tutor assessors to answer. You can just put your questions in the chat box and we will come to them. I believe we've also got some young STEM leaders from Charleston Academy there as well that may be on hand to answer questions should we need them. So please ask away and we'll be here to answer them. Okay, so we've got a question from Mrs. Aitken. Do you run it as a class or an after-school lunchtime class?
Right.
I'm going to mute. Maybe that'll help.
Okay.
Maybe David, I'm going to mute you. Maybe Eileen, if you
yeah, I can come in on that one. So we do both. I run it as a class with a group of seniors, and they are timetabled, and I deliver it as lessons. And then we also run it with so Dave and I will meet with pupils on Google Meet, or we will meet them at lunchtime and run it that way as well. So it's flexible. You can timetable it and teach it, or you can run it as a club.
There's another question. How many periods a week do they get?
Okay, so the class that are timetabled, I teach them 1 period a week, but I think that it would depend on your setting. That you could run it more than that. It depends what's right for you and your skill. Yeah.
If anyone has any more questions, please pop them into the chat box. Thanks, Eileen.
Be really good if anyone's got questions for our 6 years, because I know they'd love to answer them.
There are some young STEM leaders, but I think they're probably hiding off camera at the moment. So does anyone have any questions for the young people that have taken part in the award? I can maybe answer that one from you, Matthew, first. And please think about questions for the young people to put in the chat. But the qualification, there's no set time frame to be for it to be delivered. It can either be, for example, if you were running it in a kind of term block over 8 weeks, that's absolutely fine. Or if you're running it over 1 year or 2 years, that's fine too. The formal awards are either 30 or 40 hours long, depending on the number of credit points associated with them. But it's up to you on how much you want to stretch that 40 hours along. So yes, you could start it later in the year. You don't have to certificate in May. It's an SCQF credit rated award, but CERC is the awarding body. Okay, we've got some brilliant questions for the young people here. So first question for one of our young STEM leaders is, why did you decide to get involved? And David, Mr. Vincent can pick on a young STEM leader to come and answer that question.
I think I might have solved, I've solved my feedback problem. That's good. Right, Dre and Finley, yeah. Yeah, just as the cameras are still here. Okay.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, thank you.
Why did you decide to get involved in the Young STEM Leader program?
Because I thought it was going to be a great opportunity to learn more about STEM, because I've always been interested in all the sciences. And when I was told it would help with UCAS and college applications, it just really sold the deal for me. And I just wanted to do it from there.
Yeah, well, I joined because I knew about the skills I developed from joining the STEM club as well. I knew that it would benefit me in the long run. I make lots of friends and gain lots of skills by doing it.
Brilliant, and thanks to Finley and Dre, that's right?
Yep.
Brilliant. Okay, and another question. Has the award helped any of you with kind of next steps in terms of careers or university or college applications?
Well, yeah, I'm applying to try for biomedical science, so any way I can incorporate STEM into my CV and any of these things will benefit my chances greatly. So yeah, in every way.
And yeah, for me, applying for maths at university, well, we haven't officially got the award yet, but we can still include it as points and as like a official qualification in all of our applications. So it's increasing our chances already.
And I've got another question here from Mr. Hurley. So you said you were applying for maths. Is it? Have you used any maths in your young STEM leadership? Have you done it? Have you led any maths activities?
Not yet, but there was. We're thinking about doing like a fair the first week back after October, where we're going to incorporate different activities from all the sciences and maths as well. In an attempt to get more young people involved in STEM, we're going to do activities in maths, engineering, technology, and science.
Brilliant. And I can say, to just add to that, lots of our centres are doing maths related activities. We've got lots of kind of numeracy champions who become young STEM leaders, as well as lots of young STEM leaders that lead activities during Maths Week Scotland, and we provide a kind of central activity bank for Maths Week activities, so it's worth checking that out as well. And I guess I've got a comment here just saying that thanks, all of the young STEM leaders at Charleston are doing an amazing job, and who don't underestimate it, and who knows where this will take you. So thanks so much, Dorothy, for the question. 2 more questions for the young people, and feel free to pass on to someone else, or keep answering the questions. It's up to you. Is that right? So,
This one.
so we're getting a bit of noise, but Charleston, I've muted you for now, but if you could unmute for your answer. How did you find working with the young people, and were there any challenges?
Sorry, we can't hear anything. Classes are just leaving. Sorry, what was the question?
How did you find working with the young people? Were there any challenges?
Challenges? Yeah, we faced a lot of challenges in terms of, like, obviously competitions. We had challenges, but like it was really good for teamwork and team building, because generally we did it kind of together. We would kind of work it out, and it kind of developed our problem solving skills as well. But in challenges and like competitions, some of our equipment broke, so we had to rebuild it, kind of thing. But it was generally always a learning curve. Like, you fail something, you try again, and you just keep going at it until you got there.
Plus, confidence from getting past mistakes is always good, and it took a lot of that.
Fantastic. Okay, I think that's the last question that we have time for. So thanks so much for your answers. Eileen, is there anything else that you would want to add before we wrap up?
I would just say it's a great time to get involved because we've got Young STEM Leader Week coming up. If you're interested in becoming a tutor assessor, there's training on every month. So just get on the CERC website, get yourself signed up, and come and join in.
Thanks so much. And I just wanted to finish off by saying thank you to everyone for joining today's session. I'd love to see as many of you as possible join the Young STEM Leader Programme, and I'd be more than happy to support you with that. If you have any questions, just get in touch with your details on the screen. And thank you very much. And I do hope you enjoy the rest of SLF and the rest of your conference. Thanks very much, and have a brilliant day.
Thanks, everyone.